Um, Welcome everyone to the Inspitory. We are going to be talking to a very famous uh, former principal and a vice principal, a very inspiring woman today, Dr. Judy Pinto. She has been vice principal and retired professor of the Department of Hindi, St.Aloysius College in Mangalore. Full of passion, she's sure to inspire you today. I'm sure her students have been wanting to listen to her and be able to connect with her. It's my honor to welcome you, ma'am, today. And I'm going to be taking a very short interview of you in a as much as a warm person you are in a very casual mode. I just want to hear from you a little more to inspire others, especially your students, ma'am. How are you?
Thank you, Reema. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So I have a few questions for you today. We'll have rapid fire round in the later part, and in the first part, we'll get to know a little bit more about what you're doing at the moment. We definitely know what you've been working hard on previously. So, in your own words, how do you normally spend your time in this stage of your life?
Okay. Reema, I retired in 2016. Uh, and before that, I was busy. Two places I'm always busy. One is at home and one in my working place. And then there are various activities. And now, from the active teaching profession, I'm free. That's why I have some time so that I can spend time. But I'm still working as a guest faculty in our own PUC college, St. Aloysius PU College, with the
Yeah.
teenagers. I'm very happy
Mm-hmm.
to work with them as a counselor. Now I have changed my profession to counseling. And then I'm counseling others also because some people call me,
Mm-hmm.
and then I am a resource person that
Mm-hmm.
I'm continuing. Resource person in Family Life Service Center, Mangalore, preparing to be married couples. So that
Okay.
is another work I do.
Yeah.
And then I write.
Mm-hmm.
I write in Konkani. And I'm a column writer in
Yeah.
Sevak Monthly
Yes.
from 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
No, they are not fed up with my column. I don't know how it is. So that is on one question will be given, two questions actually per month, and I reply. Questions on life. So that is another thing what I really like to do. Household chores as usual, I'm continuing
Yeah.
after my marriage, like now 42 years now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So busy with life. I'm contented with my life.
That's wonderful, ma'am. So,
That's what I'm
we
doing
know
now.
that you have been a loving teacher, an affectionate life coach, a counselor, and you've also been counseling newly married couples. You're an avid writer, a columnist, a motivational speaker, a relationship therapist, a gold medalist since your school days.
You have made a
Uh,
good study of mine or what?
Yeah, and
Okay.
it is, and you're still continuing even now. One of the things I wanted to tell to our audience today is that you have been awarded the Vishesh Puraskar by Karnataka Konkani Sahitya Academy for your book Solvunchi Jeek. Um, and you did that in 2007. So you have not stopped writing, and you've translated the various stories from Hindi to Konkani. Can you talk to us a little more about how your language journey started?
Oh, I really love languages, but I've not learned many. If there was some occasion, some opportunity, maybe there was some time, I think so. I should have learned some more languages, but as Konkani is very fluent, I'm mother
Yeah.
tongue Konkani. Then Kannada, being I was a student of Kannada medium school till 10th standard, and I used to really love Kannada and Kannada movies, Kannada songs. Then in the meantime, I was so much interested in Hindi. And Hindi happened to be my all-time favorite language. And Vivid Bharati, have you heard, Rima? You are of present generation, no? Vivid Bharati.
I've
Those
not
songs,
heard
I
about it
was
much.
so mad after those songs, and
Yeah.
Radio Ceylon, and all those things. So I have this one habit while studying. I was a evening college student, actually, by the way. I was teaching in the day, during
Mm-hmm.
the day in St. Joseph English Primary
Great.
School. Then, while studying, I always kept the radio on during our time radio. And in the meantime,
Okay.
my book of studies, and side another book which lyrics of all the Hindi films, songs. So you are making me
Okay.
to remember all my olden days, Reema. So Hindi became very my favorite, and then I did my studies, higher studies in Hindi also. Finally, then I wanted to reach up to
Mhm.
there, become a doctor in Hindi, doctorate. So I did that. So Hindi language is my favorite, and I think so. My students also liked my classes. Sometimes in Facebook and all, they say, "Ma'am, say something in Hindi." Kabir ka doha. They remember also what. That
Yeah.
was so fantastic to hear from my students.
I remember the Dohas, Kabir Ka Doha, which we used to learn. And then my teacher would teach us Lokoptiya. So many in high school we had. And, all these Dohas would be translated into paragraphs of English, and it was written in only two
Yeah,
sentences
yes, dohas, no?
in the
Yes.
textbook. Dohas. So
Have
wonderful.
lot of
It's a
meanings.
real
And my
art.
special paper was on in my MA Hindi was Kabir Das.
Kabir
Yes.
Das, yeah. Yeah. So you were appointed as a chairperson for Konkani and Hindi textbook writing by the government of Karnataka. And you were also invited to be a part of the jury at prestigious Konkani Sahitya Academy Awards in 2000. You released your second book, Samasyang Parihar, a collection of articles which were published. You're continuously writing for the Sevak magazine, which is all our favorite magazine. I remember my mummy reading out
Oh,
some of the
so nice.
puzzles from Sevak, and I learned to read and write in Kannada, so I was able to read a little bit of
Very
Konkani,
good.
although I'm raised in Bangalore from Sevak. But when I got to know that you are also contributing to the magazine, I make it a point to go and see
Sure, sure,
Sevak
sure.
now and read
Give
some
me the
few things.
feedback.
So thank you, ma'am, for that. So you have been a resource person, you said, for more than 600 programs, including preparation for marriage talks for young couples. What motivates you to become a motivational speaker?
I don't know where I started, but once I
Okay.
started, I did it very passionately. Like, I really love to speak people. I love to speak to you also now. And initially, okay, talking to people, no, there was little fear, stage fear sort of. But I don't know how my audience will take it. Now, if there is large number of people, I feel good.
You get
The
inspired to
more
speak.
the
You get
hall is
confident.
full, and Rima, for a teacher in the class, my students are not so attentive as that particular group in the hall. Okay, they are so attentive.
Yeah.
Their faces are so enthusiastic, like no, because I speak about them. In the class, I
Yes,
speak Hindi.
absolutely.
There, I speak about them, parenting, and about their children, about their education, about teachers. I'm speaking about how they know about the students. So I think so. There, that rapt attention, what I get, that becomes a nasha for me. Okay, it's
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
very very beautiful.
Absolutely, ma'am. So what is the most rewarding thing you've experienced in life?
Uh, Many things, Rima. My life is very beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, though I had ups and downs, my rheumatoid arthritis, maybe, yeah, it put me down a little bit. But otherwise,
Yeah.
from the childhood, I got a lot of love
Mm-hmm.
from people. People all around me are very loving. I have not seen people who are not having love within them. So my most rewarding
Mm-hmm.
thing may be the people around me. And
Yeah.
also maybe I can say just now what comes to my mind is like I have balanced my life. Like I studied, I studied and studied all throughout. Then, even when children were born, I took them
Yeah.
wherever I went sometimes. Then I went to up to Annamalai University when my daughter gave birth to her son, my grandson.
Hmm.
That time I was doing my MSc in applied psychology, and
Okay.
I went. Then another thing, I balanced actually. Even when I
Okay.
left my daughter, I had made all the arrangements for her, this one, taking care of after her giving birth. But uh,
Yeah.
that I think so. And I balance relationships wonderfully. I have friends, maybe I have two, three friends who are 45 years we are friends.
Hmm.
I balance. I keep up friendships, and I think so. That is the core of my life. I balance
Absolutely.
relationships. I find
You
time
manage
for
your.
people. I think
Mhm.
so. That is what I feel. I'm very happy about that.
Yeah. So, a little bit more about you is that you are a strong-minded mother to your two lovely daughters, despite suffering from the rheumatoid arthritis at a tender age of 38. Went on to secure your master's in arts, political science, master's in arts Hindi, master's in science, applied psychology, and a PhD in Hindi at the age of 57. So you did mention just now how you continuously studied even when you become a grandmother and you managed to balance in your life. Tell me your story about how when you delivered your children and you were studying, how did you go about balancing it? What is your message to young mothers like
Yes.
me and all
Uh,
of us?
yes, my that's one thing I can. You can see my broad smile when I think of my own children, daughters. Wow, two wonderful daughters. Anyone can wish for. They are so wonderful. Now they are very far away. That's the only thing I'm missing.
Yes.
Because yeah, I get a lot of time when people are not around. Time
Yeah.
for other people now, but I really miss them, and they have been so wonderful. My first daughter, when she was born, both of them are very pretty, and um, after my firstborn only I did all those post graduations and all I did. First child I had taken her when where I was writing the examination. She was in the cradle. I was breastfeeding her. So I don't know how much my daughters also, my husband, my daughters had to. I don't know. I never asked them how much sacrifices they had to make because of my passion for studies and all that. Uh, and also once my younger daughter, when she was born, second daughter only, right?
Mm-hmm.
So till then I was very fond of boys because I
Okay.
grew up with boys, my nephews, my brothers. So I was very fond of boys.
Yeah.
So I always thought the second child, when she was in my stomach, I felt in the sense in my womb, I felt this is going to be a boy only because she was so restless. She was kicking me like,
Yeah.
see, always the two children, you have a kid also, right?
Yeah.
So two
Absolutely.
children are different, like, they
Unique.
are inside when they are. So this girl was so active inside. I was
Mm-hmm.
thinking this is going to be a boy. But then I had no such preferences as such.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah.
I could accept a girl also. But when she was born, she was so pretty. I always tell her, "Oh, don't tell me that," she says. Okay, very pretty. I have not seen a child so pretty, and
Mm-hmm.
I dote on my daughters, and they love me so much.
Yeah. So your love for them made you to continue whatever you have to do, and you took them wherever you went, and you continued your studies. So you balance between your passion, and you never stopped in whatever you had to do. You did it, and you kept going in spite of your obstacles with the health. Um, so what is the coolest thing you have worked on so far?
Coolest thing. Oh, this pandemic taught me many things. Okay, the coolest thing I can say, I was zero in all these things. Like Facebook, yes, I had made an account and I was there in Facebook.
Yeah.
But during the pandemic, I joined I can't call it organization. This one TLC, teachers learn teachers leaders community.
Mm-hmm.
And there, every time we had some activities, some competition. So first thing started with Facebook Live, and some
Okay.
of you have seen me Facebook
Yeah.
Live, okay? And it's so horrible sometimes. Like, no, I used to keep the mobile and okay, I should not go into details. And Facebook Live I did, then Facebook page, and I gave all different names. Facebook page I gave live through my senses. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
then they introduced in Instagram. Instagram I gave simple things, simple gifts of life. Then also then group was introduced. Group content that folks you and me and it's I think so. These are cool, the cool things is what I have done in my, and I'm continuing with that. Now
Yeah, that
recently
is
podcast
wonderful.
started. Live
See,
life, love life.
even we met because of social media. We also
Okay,
met on
okay. Good,
Facebook,
good,
and
good.
I got to know more about you. You inspired me through technology, and that's how this interview. So I'm very happy the way you have been open-minded about technology. At your age, I've seen a
Yeah.
lot of people, even here in Australia, where I
I
work.
always believe one thing, Reema. Sorry
Yeah,
to cut it short.
yeah,
Change is the only constant thing. Okay,
yes,
we have to. That I don't mind. And I also, as you said, I came to know so many of my students. I started my career in 1975, and so many of my students I met on Facebook, as
yeah.
you said. Yes, thank you for that.
That's wonderful because I think one of the good things, not just for me, not just during the COVID, one of the good things that happened to me on social media is I've expanded all my connections. I'm still able to keep in touch with all the people around the globe, both professionally and personally. Especially when I came to Australia, I don't feel like I'm in a different land, secluded. I feel so connected with all the people in Mangalore.
That's so nice.
So
Nice.
it's wonderful to see that you have been, on platforms and you're continuing to learn.
All
That
this
is
Zoom and all, who knew,
something that I'm
Rima,
learning.
earlier? Zoom on different things, and who
Yeah,
knew? Even WhatsApp, who knew? Uh, Means
yeah,
me, our generation, I'm saying.
that is true. That's true. I'm still teaching my mom how to use some of the features on WhatsApp. So if you're ready, we'll start with a fast fire round, ma'am.
You have to help me.
Sure. So you have to answer the questions within 60 seconds.
60
You can
seconds.
say it
I
in,
don't need, I think so. Let
yes,
me make it very
yeah,
one word sometimes, maybe.
yes, that is most preferred. I was about to say one word or maximum one sentence would really
Okay, okay.
be
Let
good,
us
and
make
maybe
it.
you
Let
can
us make
add to
it.
that. Okay, so let's start. Where is your happy place?
My happy place is my home and my family. That's one word only.
Okay, W- yeah. What do you do when to have fun?
I party, Rima. Kidding,
I
okay,
can't believe
kidding,
it, man.
kidding. I'm not a party person. But yes, I watch movies. Maybe I read. I watch movies, but movies I like are socially oriented movies, okay? A good relationship and cozy thing. I like those.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, okay. Um, what are you most passionate about?
I'm passionate about well-being of people, be it my family
Mhm.
or be it my friends or my colleagues. I love to be to see them peaceful and happy.
That is great. That's a wonderful, kind thought. Um, what is the scariest thing you have done?
Scariest thing, I'm not an adventurous person. Not scariest thing I have done. What scares me, if you can ask me, modify that. I feel
Mhm.
always, I feel my children's health. If there is little ill health, no, I become very negative. My thoughts are all like, I think you
That's a
understood what
mother's
I meant.
heart.
And all the mothers may have understood what I meant.
Yes.
That
Absolutely.
scares me.
Even I'm not myself when something happens to
Yes,
my
scares,
kids.
no?
I
It
just can't
scares.
think. If you were a superhero, what would your superpower be?
Oh, to become a superhero itself gives me like, no, thank you. Uh, Maybe I should have a magic wand or something
Okay.
to heal everybody who comes to me. Like now I am fully into counseling, right? So if there was a wand with me, Rima, so
Mm-hmm.
fantastic it would have been. Like I just, no, on their head I do this and they sang,
They're
thank you,
healed.
ma'am, finished.
Learned from you so that I could also heal people. But with your positive attitude itself, I think all people who come to you for counseling, the way you speak with warmth itself heals most of the people. So,
You are
um,
also in that field, no, Rima. All the best to you.
yeah. Thank you. So, what is the most unusual job that you've had?
This I know. This is what exactly I have to tell you. Good you
Okay.
gave me this platform to say,
Okay.
because this is one decision what I have taken long back in 2000, I think so 2013 to 18. I was a director of MCC Bank Mangalore.
Mm.
That was the thing I shouldn't have done. Okay, because I am zero in all those things. Zero means zero, minus I can say.
Yeah.
But then some, because someone said okay you can and I was elected with maximum votes. Okay, I don't know how people also did not know that I was zero in that, maybe. So then I went, and every month we had to attend a meeting and all that. I attended the
Mhm.
meeting, simply sitting there, like no, without understanding many things. Later, I really slowly I learned little bit, and I took
Okay.
care of my branch which was given to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, it is becoming little more lengthier this answer,
No
and
worries.
because
Yeah.
of my experience there, and though I knew that I have not contributed much to the banking sector, all my co-directors, my chairman also, they were very pleased with me, because no, they were thinking that I am a moral support for them. So
Wow.
there also I did my counseling thing only, I think so. Because I
Okay.
know only that, Rima, I don't know anything else. I can support people, I can be with them. I know only that. As a
Mm-hmm.
teacher, I did that. As a counselor, I did that. So that was very unusual thing I did, but I succeeded being there for 5 years.
Oh, wow. So
That was
you
very,
joined a job which you felt that you didn't have the skills for, but because of your
yes.
personality, you succeeded for 5 years. And how did your team feel about it? Did you get any?
Yeah, that's
What
what
was
they
the
were feeling,
achievement?
that I'm supportive of them, and they used to consult with me on some matters. Definitely not about bank matters.
Mm-hmm.
Means how it will be like,
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
So I was very supportive. I was with them like a team, and I always used
Yeah.
to say something goes wrong, I'm not there with you, okay, like
Mm-hmm.
that. In the sense, I have my own principles, like
Yeah.
about many things.
I think you had the courage to even take on that role, and then you persevered in that role. It's a very good story that you inspired and you shed some light over there, because it happens to most of us, especially when we go across the world. We don't get what we want. We just are put into some
Yes,
situation,
yes,
and we have to tackle it
true.
because of various of our circumstances. So if you could do that just with your personality, I think it's all about being humble and trying to take up the new challenges. That's a
One
good
thing, I
thing.
always took challenges in life.
Mm-hmm.
Being Kannada medium student till 10th standard, doing my TCH in Kannada medium school, and joining an English medium school to teach was the biggest challenge I have taken in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know to speak a proper English sentence. And if I say that to my students now, they wouldn't say, no teacher, they would say, but that was the fact.
Yeah. So you studied in Kannada medium, then you
Yes, I studied
did
in
your
Kannada
teacher's
medium.
training in Kannada,
Yes,
but you taught in an English medium school, and you were the Hindi professor.
later, yes, in the college Hindi class.
That's a wonderful language journey to
Yeah, elected me as a vice principal
mm-hmm.
uh, because no, I never thought. I had always a dream of joining St. Aloysius College. I'm so proud of being there, and I learned always. I learned till I retired. I learned
Yeah.
because there were so many people around me who knew so much, so much. So I learned there always, and I never imagined that I would be vice principal of that prestigious college.
Yeah.
Um, and I thank my management actually for this honor. I feel it is an honor given to me. Um, I don't think so. No, I don't know. In normal situations, a lady first time in the college after 140 years, I think so. I was the first lady vice principal in the college, and that makes me
Oh,
feel
that's
good.
wonderful.
Uh,
That is one of the
yeah,
good achievements.
yeah. I feel good, but I owe it to my management
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
always. That was a bonus.
absolutely. So, what do you want to tell other women in your life if you had to?
Simple. I believe that we are all unique people. Every one of us, be it a woman, man, a child, whoever. So I just want to tell all the women out there, recognize your uniqueness. Continue being unique. We don't have to compare ourselves with anyone. There are some women who compare themselves with men, and I feel that is foolishness.
Well
Because we
said.
have our own qualities. I have
Mm-hmm.
my own, individually, I have my qualities. As a woman, I have my qualities. So that's all. Be unique in your own way.
That's a good thing. With a lot of comments nowadays in social media, I do see that women definitely are not being treated still equally. I do see that there's a subtle difference in the way women are still coming up and struggling to, have the right equality. But on the other side of the coin is what I learned just now from you, where you're talking about not being, not going to compare between the genders and
Yeah,
trying to
what
make a difference, because all of us are unique and we just come with our own passion and skills.
yes.
That's a good thing to remind us. Um, so, if you could snap your fingers and become an expert in something, what would that be?
Snap my fingers, and I think so. More technology, like no. I sometimes
Technology.
struggle with the video making and all that. I download something, but then I cannot work on it, and I want to make beautiful videos. Maybe sometimes. Just now
Yeah,
it sounds me like this.
yeah, yeah,
Maybe technology.
absolutely. And what is the best piece of advice you have received in your life, and who is it from?
I got
Mm-hmm.
okay. I got many advices from many people. Okay, this was very interesting. When I got married, I'm the ninth child in my family, okay,
Okay.
and a tomboyish person, okay. I was in the village, and if I used to sit on the tree and study all
Mm-hmm.
this, very tomboyish.
Mm-hmm.
So the second brother in our family was at home that time. He was managing the house. My house is Bantwal. So my marriage was fixed, and then we came home for that. They arranged, no, for the uh, newly wedded. They in our own place they will arrange. And that day,
Yeah.
my brother, the second brother who was at home that time managing home, he called
Mm-hmm.
me aside and
Mm-hmm.
he told me, uh, "Listen, now you are married, and if your husband and his home people say horse has three legs, don't go to argue, because my brother knew how I am, okay. I will have to ask 100 questions about one particular thing, okay. So he told me this advice. He gave me, see, please agree, don't go to argue. Horse has three legs means yes, yes, you have to do. I said, why? Immediately question,
Yeah.
why? I am not saying it is a good piece of advice, Rima, but I still vividly remember that even now, after 42 years of my marriage,
So
what my
sometimes it's
brother
good to
said.
just agree and ignore. Yeah.
But but I have done that. Okay, I have done that. I have to tell that to my brother again.
That
Sometimes we have to do it.
that's a good thing because I've heard that one of the best advices I have heard is silence is golden, and some of the times when we are silent, a lot of things get healed in that process. A lot of things get unsaid but solved. But what you're saying is right. I'm able to recollect in my life also that some of the times it was wise of me to just agree to whatever people are saying.
Yes,
If you have to
it
just move
worked.
on. Yeah.
It worked. But my nature is not so. My nature is I have to ask. People have to tell me why.
Mm-hmm.
That why question is very strong in me. And I like my students also asking why,
Yeah, yeah.
always. Nice. This was very inspiring question.
And that was our last question, actually, Judy ma'am, in the beginning. But I wanted to wrap up by just talking about a few more things about you. I have done a little bit of introduction in bits and pieces, but I wanted to say that you served as PTA president of St. Agnes High School, which is one of the famous schools in Mangalore. Member of the Family Commission in the Mangalore Diocese, elected the director of MCC Bank, which you already mentioned, honorary secretary, and then the director of St. Aloysius Cooperative Stores. You have been an active resource person in family services centers. So right now you're rendering your service in the community and in the society in Mangalore. Ever since 1995, you have been completely dedicated yourself to the society. So I want to take this take advantage of this particular platform, and I wanted to thank you on behalf of all the audience, all your students, all people around you, including your two daughters who might be listening to our interview. I want to thank you for your time and for the humble person that you are, that I know of you in the last few days. So thank you for coming to this show, Inspitory. And thank you for giving me the honor of spending some lovely moments with you.
Thank you so much, Reema. You made me feel at home. I think
Thank
so. The credit goes to you because when the host makes you feel at home, you speak your heart. And thanks to all my viewers, whoever listened to this. Uh, Hope they feel that I'm a people person. That's all.
Absolutely.
Thank you
I'm
so
sure
much.
absolutely people may be wanting to listen more to more of you. They might remember all their young days of you being the teacher. And as a teacher, I'm sure you'd have inspired a lot of young lives. So thank you for the good work. And again, on behalf of all the students, thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye. I'll see you soon.